The amazing thing about it is they had no idea the American fleet was there. No idea whatsoever. It's tough to fight a battle like that. You know how when you search an area, you have a pie-shaped arc form. They sent scout planes all through that to find if there's an American fleet out there. The Japanese cruiser Tone was to launch their ship, their plane, for a particular piece of that pie, that arc. The plane was 30 minutes late getting off. The admiral should have replaced that plane immediately, but he didn't. And then, so that one place where they did not see is where we were.
Dive bombers from the Enterprise and Hornet arrived almost simultaneously, and in less than 10 minutes, the balance of naval momentum changed in the Pacific. But what happened to the planes of the third American carrier, USS Hornet?
Our air group wasn't a very good air group because we didn't have the practice of doing anything together. The only thing we did together at any time was on our shakedown cruise. It's like a baseball team. We had no spring training, we had no season, and we went right straight to the World Series, the Battle of Midway. In the case of the Enterprise group and the Yorktown group, they were combat ready.
Without the sacrifice of the torpedo squadrons, that brief window in time may have closed.
And I continually think, you know, of my good friend, Tom Eversole from Pocatello, Idaho. Here, he knew that his chances of survival were almost zilch. And yet, in other words, still going out there, doing his thing, you know, doing this incredible thing, giving us just a perfect chance to do our job. And I figure, well, if there aren't any saints in heaven, he has to be one.
Between 11 and 11:15 in the morning, American planes began appearing over their respective carriers after the strike on Kido Butai.
So I don't know how much gas I had, but I certainly didn't have much. I think Dusty Cleese claims he had a couple of teaspoons or something.
At 1100, Hiryu sent 18 dive bombers and 6 fighters aloft, followed by 10 torpedo bombers and 6 more fighters at 1331. Shortly after noon, the Val dive bombers found the Yorktown and its task force still taking aboard its dive bombers. Yorktown had 12 Wildcats overhead flying capped, and these fighters took out half the Vals. Yorktown's escorts took out 2 more with AA, but 8 Vals made it through and scored 3 bomb hits on Yorktown.
I can remember on the starboard, looking out from the starboard side, I was on the flight deck. Here was about 3 or 4 at least Japanese planes going down that had been shot down. And then, just, I say minutes, seconds later, here was this guy dropped a bomb on us. But the thing I remember about it so much that it was tumbling. It didn't come right straight down like most bombs did. And I think that's why the explosive on that one all went to starboard and it wiped out the 1.1 mount. That was horrible.
We had a fire hose there and he took that and I turned the water on for him. We got the fire out and then started helping getting the guys that were still alive down off the 1.1 mounts. All happened very quickly. Blew a hole in the flight deck about as large as the living room.
After midday, when the Yorktown was attacked, we were about 5-10 miles away, I guess. And we stood, it was like a movie watching the attack on the Yorktown, but they stopped there, they never came near us.
The sky's black, and what you're seeing is about the 1 out of 5 burst. The others are, you don't really see, except the tracers. So the sky is really full of dangerous objects, and they're flying right through it. They were determined to press forward their attack on the Yorktown.
But I think we come out of it pretty good with as far as the bombs are concerned. But one of them hit the stack and blew out the fire rooms, and so we were dead in the water.
The next one hit down, and the forward bow started a persistent fire in the rag locker.
The low point was when Admiral Fletcher left us to go aboard a cruiser.
But we had a very fine engineering crew, and in 2 hours, or 1 hour I think it was, they completely got the engines up running again and got the steam in the right places. However, we could only do 15 knots. And to dodge torpedoes, you got to do better than that. In the Coral Sea, we dodged 12 torpedoes on a run, and of course Yorktown then did probably 32, 34 knots, and the skipper missed them all. But now you do 15 knots,